I will declare war on power, remove fuel subsidy, Obi says. Wow. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has disclosed that he will declare war on power if elected. Obi wondered why Nigeria has failed to declare an emergency on power with a generation of less than 13,000 megawatts for 200 million people, when South Africa did so when it produced 15,000 megawatts for 60 million strong population. He was answering questions on Monday at the candidate's presidential town hall organized by Daria Media and anchored by Kaderia Ahmed. He promised that his government will remove roadblocks to independent power generation, issue licenses to anyone who can generate 100 megawatts, remove multiple taxations, and support generation companies. The Labour Party candidate said his immediate task would be the improvement of transmission. Today, we have installed capacity of about 12,500 megawatts, but because of not having the transmission infrastructure to deliver that, and we have distribution infrastructure to distribute that, first is to ensure as quickly as possible that you have a transmission infrastructure to be able to transmit and distribute the installed capacity, he said. Wow. Obi also said his government will decentralize power transmission. In addition, Obi said he would implement a new tariff plan that will see the rich pay more for power so that it will be subsidized for the poor. There will be an increase in tariff, he said. There will be different tariffs in different areas. You can't charge people in Ikoyi, Ikeja, and people in Ajagunle the same way. Wow. I will charge people who have the resources to pay. They will pay for it and will reduce the price for those who don't have it. So those who are low income, you can subsidize. Those who have high income will pay the appropriate thing. Obi assured Nigerians that he has done the numbers and concluded that 10 billion naira will solve Nigerians' power quagmire. All right. He also said he will scrap Nigeria's controversial fuel subsidy, which he described as organized crime. And that is true. That is what it is. So now they're asking him about the secessionists in Nigeria. He said, when asked about the agitation for Biafra, Obi, who is from southeastern Nigeria, said he will dialogue with secessionist group and get them to believe in Nigeria. The first you do with agitators is to sit down and listen to the person who is agitating, he explained. Unless you sit down, you cannot say yes or no. I am a Nigerian. I am contesting the election as a Nigerian. I am not contesting from any other place. So I believe in Nigeria, and I believe that I am going to bring all agitators back to Nigeria and make it work for them. And the reason why they are protesting is resources. So Obi also supported the call for decentralized police. He wondered why Nigeria shouldn't have local government, state, and national police units. Wow! So that's what Obi is saying when interviewed in the candidate town hall meeting. All right, and his responses about power are just what we are seeing here. He said he would declare war on power. All right. Now we have installed a capacity of up to 12,500 megawatts, but we don't have good transmission and distribution system, and that is why we cannot have it. We cannot maximize the installed capacity for now. So what he's saying is that he will declare war on power. What is that war? He will make sure that everything in power works. If South Africa did it for 60 million people, why can't we do it for 200 million people? All right. We have the market. We have everything. We have the resources. So he said he will make sure that the transmission and the distribution section of the power system is working very well so that we can generate and transmit it accordingly. And he also said he will subsidize for the poor people, the less income people, and also get the richer people to pay the right thing they are supposed to pay, and then use it to subsidize for the small, young, for the low income earners in Nigeria. Now he was trying to compare Ikoyi, Ikeja, and Ajegule in Lagos. If somebody in Ajegule is managing to pay, the person in Ikoyi should pay more, such that the one that is to be paid by somebody in Ajegule is subsidized. That's a good initiative. That's what they do in some countries like UK, especially, and they do that through taxation. So everybody pay the same thing in power, but what they do is that they do that through taxation. So what the rich pay is more than what the poor pay. And with that taxation, they use it to also provide benefit for everybody, thereby closing the gap between the rich and the poor. That is what is done in places like the United Kingdom. Right? So the issue here that Peter B is saying is that he will subsidize the power for those in poor areas, those in suburbs, the low income earners, the villagers, so that and then make the people in the rich zones like all those Maitama, Abuja now, people in Ikoyi and Ikeja in Lagos to pay more because they have the resources, they have the money. And I'm sure so long the power is steady, those guys are ready to pay. Everyone is ready to pay so long the power is steady. All right. But the situation where the power is not steady, and at the end of the day, the PHCN or the Eco Electricity or whoever that is managing the electricity distribution will come back to give some people estimated bill. Give them meter, they will say there's no meter. Okay, try to find a way to get the accurate reading of what they are consuming. You give them kind of outrageous estimated bill, because that is what these guys are known for all over the country. Anywhere they give estimated bill is huge. The next thing, the marketers are giving target to make, and then they distribute the target among those people that do not have meter. And even at that self, the light is still not there. You pay huge and still the light will not be there. So now what Peter B is saying is that he will declare war on power. He will declare war on power. And then when they asked him about the secessionists as well, he is saying that he will discuss with them. He will dialogue with them. He will sit them down. He will hear them. Those people no longer believe in Nigeria because of the bad government that we have in place. All right? Because the bad government will have in place. But he's saying he will listen to them. He is not content from anywhere. He is content for Nigeria, and he believes in Nigeria. So any other person that is no longer believing in Nigeria, we need to hear him, understand why he doesn't believe in Nigeria anymore, and then try to resolve it. And by the time things start working the way it should work, I'm sure those people will listen. Because why everybody is agitating Nigeria today is because nothing is working. Right? And again, back again into power, he has said that he has checked everything that is supposed to go into getting the power ready. He said he will remove multiple taxation, he will increase the tariff, but for key areas, that is back to power again. That is what he's also saying here in the aspect of power. So he responded very well to all the questions, and now we know that he understands issue around power, around secession, and then secessionist agitation. And then the next thing is when he gets into power or into office as the president of Nigeria, he will sit down with them, he will dialogue with the people that are agitating, and then the power problem, he will declare war or declare emergency on power, and then he will get what is needed to fix it. So thank you for listening. That is Peter Obi's position around power, around secessionist agitation, and also around state police. So why shouldn't we have state police? Why is it that the local government system is not working? Councillors, ward councillors and units are not working. He will make all of them work. All right, because when we knew this Nigeria, just shortly after independence, up to the early 80s and late 80s, we know that local government had a lot of autonomy and they were doing a lot of job. The councillors, the ministry and the health workers, all of them were moving around. The police, though not a state police, but then the police was so more unified and were doing a better job. All right. Today, the political system just crippled from the local government down to the ward councillors and the units because they want to keep the power at the governorship level within the state. And then they made all the local government chairmen become houseboy to them. He will make all of that work. He will cause a change in all of that. So thank you for listening. That's Peter B's comment. And let's have your own comment and your view below as well for sharing.